such a strong foothold, I mean armhold, on the arm wrestling scene, and what are the ups and downs in his career? I am the Arm Historian, and today I'll be your tour guide as we take a look at the rise and fall of Denis Iplenkov.
Still in high position, center of the table.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday out there in arm wrestling world. Let me quickly close my window here. How you guys doing? See who's in chat. TOS Move, how you doing? McFarvo. Chuck, what's up, man? Howdy UK, apologizing for the snoring. As I said in chat, I snore too, man, it's all good. Spermies, how you doing, man? Good to see you. It seems like quite a bit of the Ireland crew is here. Let me know if that music is fine like this, guys. The Chuck dude says POV arm wrestling, indeed. Yeah, that was footage from our training that you saw in the little preview to the stream. And it was from my point of view, indeed. Kazazuri, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hariom No Top Roll says, you mean murder of Brad Grundy. Yeah, we'll talk about it. On this stream, we'll talk about every match. Some will, of course, hit on in a little more detail. We'll go over the event in general, as we usually do. And yeah, kind of get a general impression of what people thought of the event, right? Usually I go briefly, like, over production value and stuff like that too, so we'll probably do that too. Yeah, and also, of course, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is like the ending of the entire thing, in my opinion. Looked pretty sketch. Death to Zionism, feminism, and the thin blue line. Said it's quite a name you've got there. Said who won between Brad Grundy and his opponent, Bacho. Okay, this is your spoiler warning, your one and only spoiler warning. We're of course going to be talking about the matches of the event, so we're also going to be talking about the outcomes of the matches. I think that kind of goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways. So from here on out, we'll talk results of the matches themselves. Brad Grundy did end up losing to Bacho Saginashvili pretty convincingly. An 0-3 loss. So yeah, well done on Bacho there. I think Brad Grundy might have maybe underestimated him a little bit, or maybe he couldn't get back in shape in time, right? Can speculate all day about that. Latruso says Opana? Question mark? Malte says Opana from Denmark. Hello Malte, welcome. German Game in the house. How you doing, German Game? Good to see you, man. How's the table working out? Have you been able to use it a little more? Latruso says, I think I missed a few lives. Glad I caught you today. Yeah, glad you're here, Latruso. You picked a good day for it. I went live yesterday before the event, which reminds me, I think I'm going to... I don't know if I'm going to be live streaming during East vs West Thinking of the Table from now on, but I'm going to make a concerted effort to do a couple of quote-unquote live commentary streams for some events. going on in the future. So yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, you'll be able to hang around in this live stream too. Hey, Muscle Bike in the house. How you doing, Muscle Bike? Good to see you, man. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're well. Poor Brad got crushed. Yes, indeed. Let's move on, right, to the event. I'll get a couple of visuals too. Yeah, we'll talk about this one too, maybe. The Morozov, now that I'm here, the Morozov-Laletin match. Morozov apparently got pretty injured. Yeah, it's nothing too bad, but if you're at all squeamish, yeah, it's just a bruise, basically, a big bruise. But yeah, not looking good for Morozov. Unfortunate. I know the music is quite upbeat right now, but like this music playing while we're looking at Morozov injuries. Right on, man. Laletin did end up winning this match, but I think it was a lot tougher than a lot of people thought. I think a lot of people had Laletin as like the favorite by far, but Morozov gave him a real hard match, I think. So good on Morozov. I mean, he proved why he had the #1 title, right? So, but of course, congratulations to Laletin, totally deserved. Latruso says, I clicked off after Vitali versus Morozov, then I see everyone talking about Devon. Yeah. We'll get to the ending after we go over every match. But yeah, that was quite the ending to the event. Hey, reaction man himself in the house. Henry, how you doing, Henry? Good to see you. I saw you were at the event too, and I think soon we'll have a bald Henry, if I'm not mistaken. Love to see how that looks. I think everyone is looking forward to that, so maybe he's already bald Henry, who knows. Spermy says, Chuck, how's things going, bro? Chuck has been helping me. I know this is a private conversation kind of between you two, but Chuck has been helping me with some videos behind the scenes, so big shout out to Chuck there for donating some of his time too. Kingsmove Social Club in the house. Good to see you, man. How you doing? So yeah, Morozov, very unfortunate. I wish him the best speedy recovery. I hope it's not too bad. It looks... yeah, it looks quite bad, right? Not imagining it. It looks quite bad. Quite deep. It's like not that big of a bruise. Essentially, I've seen bigger from arm wrestling injuries, but yeah, this looks very fresh. Which makes sense, I guess. Oh yeah, by the way, there's one other thing I wanted to show you before we move on to other matches. My friend sent me this video of Schoolboy and Vitali Laletin participating in what is essentially like a Russian variety show about athletes trying all kinds of different stuff. Really funny. I'm gonna show you guys a short clip of it. I don't want the stream to get taken down, so I won't show it all, but yeah, I'll show you a little bit of it. I think it's about here, where we see Schoolboy attempting.
That even those with phenomenal strength can face unexpected difficulties.
Let me turn off the sound because yeah, it's like one of those terrible AI voices. Yeah, Schoolboy. Laletin. Schoolboy, quite athletic. Of course, he's still young, but still. Good on him. Looking good. Marcel says, what do you think of MMT's antics during East versus West 16? Yeah, we'll talk about the MMT match right after this, and then I'll touch on his quote-unquote antics. Brad felt it from the go, yeah, indeed. It did look like that. Tomer in the house, how you doing, Tomer? Good to see you, man. Here's Laletin making the jump. Unfortunately, though, this doesn't end up quite as well. But yeah, funny. I had no idea they entered in something like this, but I guess why would I, right? Okay, so let's talk about the Michael match, right? I saw someone bringing up Michael's quote-unquote antics during the match. I did notice Michael's antics. So, full disclosure, I believe Michael won 3-0, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't think he got a pin on Hermes. Pretty long event, so I might be mistaken there, but I don't think he got one pin on Hermes. I think Hermes did a clean sweep on him. Although, yeah, there were quite a lot of restarts and fouls, and at a certain point I think the match was stalled out for quite a long time. Well, I think Michael contested a pin, if I'm not mistaken. A pin on him, of course. A2S move, good to see you, man. Welcome, welcome, Boss Royale. How you doing? Latrousseau says during the interview, Morozov said it was an old injury. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. I think most of those kinds of things are recurring injuries, most of the time. Of course, they gotta start sometime, right? But a lot of the time, they're recurring injuries, I think. Remind me of the ending of Life of Brian. When they were all like... I'm thinking of Monty Python, where they're all like rolled up into police stuff. Life of Brian is where they're all singing on the cross, right? Gizmo Social Club says from when he was on the golf team in high school. Interesting, okay. Hey, Verbeer in the house, how you doing, Verbeer? Welcome. Verbeer, one of the people that watched the event with me, along with Kazazuri, who's also in chat. So yeah, this match, I think it was pretty close. It looked pretty close at times, although Hermes was just so good at climbing and just keeping on climbing. I think his riser basically overpowered Michael's pronation at a certain point, and Hermes could just kind of go over it and then I think finish with a press most of the time, or every time. So yeah, it was a good match, I think. I think Michael put on a very good performance. I had Hermes as the heavy favorite here, but I think Michael did a very good job, all in all. So yeah, there's people that are saying give Michael the Devon match anyway. Be interesting to see what you guys think about that. Like, what should be Michael's next match? Motor Bunny says shoulder, 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 shoulder. Yeah, that's another thing. We'll get to that. I think you're referring to the Gennady Devon match. We'll cover that match. Probably lost. Morozov is strong left. Big difference. Yeah, that's true. People tend to forget that, right? Although, to be fair, he's pretty strong on the right too, right? German Game says, I was arm wrestling again, and I think I did quite good because I did manage to pin some guys. That quite a bit more experience than me. Awesome, yeah. That's good. You probably have some benefits already from kind of being around arm wrestling online and stuff. Being a part of the online arm wrestling scene, however small it may still be. That'll probably give you some benefit and some insights into technique over like a total beginner. Like a total newcomer to the sport. Yeah, Latruso, how dare you? You forgot to like. I think that deserves a ban. So if there's any moderators in chat, please ban Latruso for not liking. Mother Bunny says Korean 100. Yes, indeed, Mother Bunny. The show did remind me a lot about Korean 100. I think my moderators know I'm joking. Tomer says, I now absolutely 100% believe that Denis's left is the strongest ever after the Morozov match and the Kurdecha match. Yeah, might be. Might be Levon too. We've seen so very little of his left hand, unfortunately. I hope we get to see more. There's a couple of contenders there on the left, but you might be right. Hey, Top Troll King, welcome. What's up, man? Good to see you. MMT was hilarious, says Kazazuri. Yeah. There were a couple of mini meltdowns in there, and at a certain point, the match did get not physical, but they got in each other's face quite a bit. I think Hermes was getting fed up and stuff, and at a certain point he pointed at Rebecca, I think, or something like that, and then Michael got very defensive. And then afterwards very trying to solve the issue. So, I don't know. A lot of going back and forth on like the emotional spectrum. Which is part of the reason why you watch a Michael Todd match, right? That's not a dig on him. Part of the reason that makes him, I think, a little endearing to viewers, or at least humanizing, is like the wearing his heart on his sleeve a lot of the time kind of things. So that's not a dig at Michael at all. That's just who he is, right? Top Row King says, speak of arm wrestling performance from Schoolboy on display. Yeah, he did do quite well. He did do quite well at this stuff. For sure. Seems like, yeah, look at him leap here. Take a tumble when he landed. Good on him, man. You can always trust arm wrestlers to have a deadly grip. Yeah, to a point, I think that's certainly true, Musclebike. Although, I don't know. When I first started arm wrestling, I thought grip would be like super important, but not always the case. At least, well, there's a distinction between grip strength and squeezing strength, right? Because I think a lot of people when they're first starting out think of grip strength kind of like the ability to squeeze someone else's hand. And I don't think, I don't know, I haven't personally experienced a lot of benefit coming from like squeezing my opponent's hand as hard as possible. Doesn't usually help me when I'm in a match. Quite the contrary, even. It was a great match. Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed the match. That Rousseau says Michael won. No, Hermes won 3-0, if I'm remembering correctly. Guys, if you can, take a second to drop a like. I don't ask a lot, but it would mean a lot if you could just like the video, like the live stream. Get a couple more people in here. Kazazuri says Hermes was in full control and super calm. Yeah, I think Hermes did a very cerebral job at arm wrestling in his match versus Michael. And I think he did really well in general during the match, yeah. He made very little errors. That I could tell, of course. Chuck says Hermes got lucky with one round when MMT tried to press. Yeah, you could argue that indeed. That's one of the points where maybe he was sleeping on it a little. Spermy says was hoping for Mike. I understand, man. I was kind of hoping for Mike too, just because I wanted to see the Michael Todd Levon match very desperately. And now we're like a step further away from it. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television in the chat. How you doing, man? Said, let's get Arm Historian to 9,400 subs. Yeah, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe too. There's a big video that's dropping hopefully tonight. I'm nearing the end of the editing process, so I might do a little preview at the end of the live stream today. Show you guys a little preview of the next video. But yeah, we are very slowly nearing that 10k mark, and then I'll finally be able to sit at the big boy table of the arm wrestling content creation scene. Top Troll King says camera angles were awful. I think in general, I think that's a little harsh. I think in general, camera angles were pretty good. I know what you're saying though. You're saying for refs to be able to see exactly what was happening. And I do think, yeah, we should be able to find a way where we have like dedicated cameras on certain points of the table in order to get a better results when refs are looking at those calls. But I think like production wise, just the camera angles of the event, I didn't see a lot wrong with them, like how it looked. Maybe Jesus needed to humble Mike one more time, I guess. Yeah, I guess it was written, right? Sweden Arm Wrestling Television says, leave a like, guys. Thank you for reminding people. That I appreciate that, Kriege. Boss Royale says, Steven Baxter is not looking good for the sport. I don't know, there's a lot of things. I know who you're talking about, by the way. Steven Baxter. I don't think his name is Steven Baxter, right? His name is Bob Baxter, right? If I'm not mistaken. Robert Baxter. I think he has the sport's best interest at heart. He's an arm wrestler himself, so I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But if I'm being 100% honest, there was an interview he did with Ray that kind of somewhat alarmed me, where he talked about having Trump and Putin pulling at one of the events, and yeah, a whole bunch of other weird stuff, like having the little person from UFC attending an event and like sitting on Levant's lap or something like that. I don't know. Very out there stuff, in my humble opinion, you know what I'm saying? A little too out there for me personally. But maybe people have different opinions, and maybe those kinds of things is what the sport needs, right? I personally don't think so, but it could be. Dagalisha says, watch the event with some of the guys. The main events were amazing. Favorite was either Todd versus Irakli or Vitali versus Artem. Yeah, I think we're about good on this match, right? We talked about it quite a bit. I don't really know what else to say. Hermes won convincingly. Michael did look quite good on the table. Were a couple of emotional outbursts from both sides. But I think all in all, a very entertaining match, and I enjoyed it a lot. Let's move on to another match, right? You talked about this person, Tagalicious. Talked about his favorites were either Todd versus Irakli or Vitali versus Artyom. We touched on Vitali versus Artyom already. Let's take a look at Irakli versus Todd. Okay, first off, Todd took this match like without any issues, as far as I could see. I think Irakli got one sneaky press on him, or I don't really know what happened, or can't 100% remember what happened during that round, but Irakli did get a pin on Todd at least. So it wasn't completely one-sided, but all in all it seemed, and from what I could glean from the post-match interviews, it seemed like Todd was fully in control for most of the match. And yeah, was just generally stronger. At least that's what Todd himself said. So if you believe what Todd felt in that match, he just felt stronger than Irakli. Kind of what it looked like too, to be honest. If I'm missing some of your messages, guys, I'll try to catch up a little bit. So if I miss some, feel free to ask me again. Chuck says, Arm historian, I turned my brain off for a second and almost banned him. I appreciate it. Damn, I'm really behind on chat. I'll catch up really quickly, guys. Sorry. I'm missing a lot here. Kingsmove Social Club says, I don't think I've ever seen Mike train alone. He's with his wife 24/7. Yeah, they're a close couple. I can't really fault them for that, but I know what you're saying. But yeah, I'm not into like codependent relationships myself. My girlfriend and I are very close, of course. We like to spend a lot of time together, but I'm not that into codependency personally. I'm not saying Michael and Rebecca are necessarily codependent. I'm just saying, what I said. Boss Royale, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Says opinion on Devon shouting start the match. I'll try to reserve my opinions on Devon when we cover the actual match here. But I will say this. Devon was less annoying this match than he was versus Petrenko, in my opinion. To me, that was very obvious. Maybe that was because Gennady was also giving Devon a lot of shit. I don't know. That maybe softened the blow a bit of Devon shouting and stuff. But yeah, he was a lot less annoying than versus Oleg, in my opinion. Togolicia says the angles were fine, the lighting made it hard to see very well, a lot of darkened spots due to the lighting made. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I didn't mind it that much. To me it was still clear enough. Plus the venue looked pretty good, although the TVs looked rather small for the people attending there. I was kind of... yeah, I hope they got to see most of the matches on those small TVs. But all in all, I thought it looked pretty good. The overlay stuff was a lot better as far as I could tell. They also got rid of like the athlete cards where they show all the stats and stuff, which I didn't mind. And I think in general the pace of the event was quite fast. So didn't mind it. I thought those things were all things they did quite well. Chuck says, I would say lighting could be a bit better, especially after looking some matches once again. Yeah, some scenes are quite dark. Again, they're quite dark. I can kind of see what you're saying there. Sorry, I meant Robert Baxter. I thought so, man. Togolicia says, I only hear bad things about Robert Baxter. It depends who you ask, right? I hear a lot of good things too. I already talked about Robert. I think it's pretty clear what I think. Don't have anything against him, personally. But yeah, some pretty out there ideas. Muscleback says, Baxter is cringe and Engin is Engin. Engin is certainly Engin. I think there's no discussion there. And like, that Robert Baxter interview kind of made me a bit mad, says Latrus. So yeah, I get where you guys are coming from, for sure. I commented on it too. It does sound a bit out there, doesn't it? Uncrowdkin says, agree with you. We don't need to turn this great sport into a circus. Let the athletes and matches speak for themselves. Yeah, in a large part I do agree. I don't think we should shield ourselves from like exploring new avenues we can go down. There's certainly things we can still improve as a sport and as like a product, quote unquote, to get out to the masses. So I don't think we should necessarily like put our nose to the grindstone and not change anything. But I do agree that we should kind of tread carefully a little bit about, because some things can't be undone, right? The moment you see Levon having like an unnecessary little person that has nothing to do with arm wrestling sit on his lap during an event, imagine just in the middle of a match it pans to a little person sitting on Levon's lap. A token little person. What would they be doing even? Would Levon be giving him a horsey ride? Or what would be going on there? Would he be feeding him or something? Or like pointing at the match? Like he would as he was like showing his son the match or something? What's the idea with that? I don't get it. Kalin Todoro says, I wouldn't say a sneaky press, it was a press from a losing position. Yeah, that's a good point, Kalin. I think that encapsulates what Irakli did to Todd when he pinned him better than what I said. That's very true. Irakli underestimated Todd. It did seem that way, didn't it? Togolicia says Irakli was able to get an awkward flop press from a weird lane that he can't access, usually from what he said. Yeah, indeed. Todd looked brutally good. Indeed, man. Looked very good. Babkin says, if it weren't for Levon's fragile ego, the thing between him and Kirill wouldn't have been so weird. Sorry, but mainly on Levon. Devon would have happily played around and even took an L if he was tired. Maybe. I think I've seen people make arguments from both sides, kind of blaming Levon and kind of blaming the organizers. Yeah, I think there's enough blame to go around. Maybe Levon could have handled it a little more gracefully. But yeah, it is a pretty weird thing to spring on like the number one, right? And then have the guy actually try. The weird thing is that they had an actual like graphic prepared. Very strange, like an actual overlay graphic to denote the points of the match. So I think someone at least had it in their head that it would actually be pretty serious. To a degree. I'm sure it was like kinda pitched as an exhibition match, but yeah. Musclebike says 54 watching, 27 likes. Kindly hit that like button. Yeah, if you can, hit the like button, guys. I appreciate it. Atlantis says I was worried for Todd actually, but damn, no need. Yeah, indeed. I think quite a bit of people had Irakli as a favorite now, just because he has been quite steadily improving. So I think I'm quite behind. I'm gonna catch up a little bit on chat here, guys. Cory Vorum says, such a weird channel, lol. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or... Never seen a talking hand before, my man. Who's the weird one now? Musclebike says, Devon got phantom fouled again by biased refs. Didn't matter this time though. Gennady was Devon's dog. Yeah, he kinda was. I think Genadi went into full-blown panic mode at times. I couldn't have helped. But yeah, this match, Todd Hutchings, Irakli, Zirakashvili. I think Todd, undisputed, man. He's so good, it's crazy at his age. Irakli made a comment like he's 1 year older than my dad. And he's like handily beating me here on the table. So yeah, I think that speaks volumes to Todd. Just an incredible athlete, and he must be doing something right. The man has to some people, the man has pretty unconventional training techniques, right? And a very unconventional style when pulling. But yeah, he must be doing something right. Especially at his age. Really good. Really good on Todd. Let's move on to another match. What else do we have here? I'll briefly touch on the Prokopchuk Jacques match. It looked close at points, but in the end, Jacques took the win here. Rather convincingly, I would say. There were a couple of times when it looked like Daniel kind of got a stop on Jacques, but yeah, Jacques seemed to be in really good condition during the match, during the entire event. Seemed to be very upbeat too. Yeah, was a real joy to hear Jacques actually talk English during his kind of little victory interview after the match. Really awesome. Awesome to hear Jacques talk to the people in English. Good on him. His English wasn't bad either. Way better than I expected. Daniel is strong. Daniel. He's a very good puller, but he looked kind of outclassed in this class. Pardon the pun. Tomer says, I don't think that unprofessional behavior has any place in a so-called professional league, although Baxter's behavior does cast doubt on the league's professionalism. That's a valid opinion, I think. Marshall says, I think there should be 6 to 7 matches maximum at an event. What do you think? Yeah, I've been kind of lobbying for that for quite a while. Like, make the events shorter. I think you could do a lot with kind of qualifying events and stuff like that and get people really riled up about upcoming talents, and maybe even offer those events for free or like for YouTube members or something like that. I think you could get people really excited for matches that maybe otherwise in the main event wouldn't be that exciting, right? For some people. So I think if they invested a little bit more in that, that could be a really good way to go, in my opinion. Rodney Hickman says it seems generally Engin wanted the rules to be called more strictly, which made some matches less watchable. Might be the case. Atlantis doesn't regret his purchase. Was by far the best production stream, everything for East versus West so far. Yeah, I think, like I said before, the production value in general definitely didn't go down in my opinion. It looked quite good. Togalisha says, arm wrestling in itself is a raw and intense sport. That's its appeal in my opinion. Some changes in entertainment is not bad, but the random stuff with Levan is negative in my opinion. Okay, I'll move on to the next match. I'll briefly grab a drink here, so give me like 10 seconds. Okay, I'm back. We have some dramatic music playing. I'll turn it up a bit. I think this is suitable music to talk about this match, right? Alex Kurdecha versus David Dadikyan. Yeah, unfortunate. Alex Kurdecha lost here against a very strong looking quote-unquote giant slayer, David Dadikyan. Because, you know, David Dadikyan is not a small man himself. He's quite beefy and quite tall too. But Alex Kurdecha definitely the bigger man in this match. I think he outweighed him by like 50 kilos or something crazy like that. So you would expect Alex to do well, right? Unfortunate. Didn't happen. I don't know, man. Alex is one of those pullers that I want to see do well, like a lot. I want to see him do well, but it just doesn't seem to quite get there at some of the last events, right? I don't know, someone on Reddit said Alex Kurdecha is Derek Smith of the East. You know what I'm saying? And I thought there's some truth to that. It's not a one-to-one comparison, obviously. They're two different people, different goals, at different levels in the sport, I would argue too, pretty obviously. But yeah, there is some truth to that, right? Both are like these massive dudes who you would expect are like built for arm wrestling. But for some reason, they're not quite getting to that very top level. Yeah, Tomer, I agree. Yeah, Tagalicious indeed. It's not like... When I say little person, I mean an actual... Like an adult little person, not like a child or something. Latrousseau says Mike Tyson interacting with Hasbulla like he was a child. I remember that, yeah. I remember that video. Chuck says the celebrity idea is good, but not by making them an attraction. You can just make them and their fans interested in the sport. Yeah, I do agree. Crossovers is a good idea in general. White Wolf in the house. How are you, man? Good to see you. Says, Wolf Late. Who are we blaming today? We're blaming the entire arm wrestling community. No, we're blaming Alex Kurdecha for not living up to his potential. That's about where we're at now. Babkin says the graphic was a bad idea. Agreed, yeah, indeed. I don't know who did that, but maybe they shouldn't have made it that official. There was no need for the Levan show matches, Latrousseau. They had a great final match, just ended on that high. I do want to give full disclosure here. Engin, as well as Kirill, as well as Bob, appeared on video. Robert Baxter. When I say Bob, I mean Robert Baxter. I don't know the guy. I don't know why I would call him Bob, but Robert Baxter, those three guys, appeared on video and made an apology on the East vs. West channel. You can watch that. Maybe do that right after this stream. I'm not going to take the risk of watching it on stream. I don't want to get the stream taken down, but I go over there and watch it if you haven't already. They kind of talk about the whole weird ending to the event. Latrousseau says, we love this weird channel. I appreciate the love. Even if some people think it's a little weird, that's totally fine. They can express their weirdness. I'm really behind, aren't I, on chat? Okay, I'm gonna scroll ahead. Like I said before, if I missed any of your messages, hit me up again, and I'll try to get to it. German Games says, gotta go to sleep now. Have a good night, guys and girls. See you later, man. See you. Chuck says, I'm disappointed by Alex once again. Yeah, I feel him, man. He's a really nice dude. I once contacted him to talk about. I was researching a subject on the WAF, and I sent him a message trying to get some clarification on something, and he actually called me. Like, my channel was a lot smaller than it is now, and he actually video called me and spent like half an hour talking to me about it. So yeah, really nice dude, really forthcoming with his time and stuff. I know I've made a little bit of fun about one of his last matches before this, kind of the setup match with the slap fighter, but I think in general, really nice guy, and I wish him all the best. Unfortunately, didn't get the win versus David. David is looking really strong, really good. Yeah, might be a true contender for the #1 left hand. It's crazy, but we might get to see like a Dadikyan versus Vitaly Laletin match. So is he just gonna be slaying giants left and right all the way to the top? Might be. Might very well be. He's doing a good job so far. Chuck says, oh no, don't do me so dirty with that Derek Smith comparison. Of course, Chuck, a countryman of Alex Kurdecha. Sorry to do that to you, Chuck. Sorry to do that to Derek Smith as well as Alex Kurdecha. Bob Anderson says Kurdecha is very strong but needs a higher table IQ. Yeah, maybe he could get more invested in the sport. I don't know. I think he has a pretty busy career outside of the sport, so maybe he can't really afford to put that much time into it. Yeah, I don't know. Here's Dylan in the chat. Didn't catch you before, man. How you doing? Good to see you. Good friend of mine. Spermy says Alex and Derek have the parts to be beasts, but neither put the time in to reach the top level. Yeah, it does feel that way, doesn't it? It does feel that way. Boss Royale says, just for context, 90 kilogram Ongurbayev managed to pin Kurdecha once in their match. Yeah, that's true. You know, they're like, I hear Todzilla saying something like weight classes barely matter or weight classes don't matter. Something he's repeated a couple of times, and I do think there is some truth to that. Yeah, just from personally arm wrestling people that have been lighter than me but have been better arm wrestlers, there's definitely truth to that. Now at the elite levels, it might be magnified a little or it might be minimized a little, right? Or hard to say. White Hole says, Geert just after lunch dinner here, you good? I hope Geert is doing good. Met White Wolf along with Geert. What is now almost a year ago? Crazy, time flies. Derek versus Alex, absolute cinema. I generally think Alex is a higher level than Derek right now. But who knows, maybe we'll see that match in the not too distant future. Who knows? I wouldn't mind it. Which other matches do we have here? Kalinichenko versus Frank Lamparelli. Kalinichenko won this match. Frank looked a little outpowered there. At times he could stop Kalinichenko to a certain degree. But yeah, to me it just seemed like Kalinichenko outpowered him. I think Frank took his wrist and hand a couple of times, but then Kalinichenko just powered through it with like a flop wrist press. So yeah, finished the match quite handily there. Chuck says, by the way, we haven't seen Boob Historian for a while. I miss her. I think that's a common sentiment here in chat. We all miss Boob Historian. It's been a really long time. Hariom Notopro says, it's never about the size. Yeah, that's what they all say, right? You're just saying that to make you feel better. You know that, right? It's about connection, and Alex lacks supination connection. Yeah, might be the case. Might be the case there. It does seem quite one-sided sometimes, but yeah. He said as much in his post-match interview, I think, that he was gonna focus more on the hook too during his training, so that might help. Alex took a long break, says ECEC. Maybe he's not quite back yet. Yeah, it's always hard to predict what kind of shape Alex Kurdecha will be showing up in, right? I agree. Quick sip of water here. Some ASMR, sorry. There we go. So yeah, this match, in general, I enjoyed it quite a bit, just because I like to see Frank Lamparelli on the table more. I think he's a genuinely fun character to have in the arm wrestling scene. So, also, like in his post-match interview, Frank was speaking English pretty fluently, like not super fluently, but his English wasn't bad at all. Why in his pre-match interview was Hermes there, sitting in as a translator for Frank? I wonder. Their English seemed to be about on par to me, or even Frank's English seemed a little better during his post-match interview, so really weird. Really weird. I guess it was funny. I didn't mind Hermes being there. I liked two guys interacting. They're training together too, so yeah. But unfortunately, their training together didn't seem to help Frank Lamparelli in this particular match. As, yeah, Serhi took it quite convincingly. But hey, that's how it goes, right? Stronger man wins. Doesn't necessarily have to be the better arm wrestler always. White Wolf says, I always feel like I'm about to get off on the wrong floor here at Arm Historian. Yeah, I hear you on the elevator music. You might enter some parallel dimension. There's another guy who was in here earlier who said the vibes are a little weird. Might enter the Twilight Zone straight from the elevator. White Wolf says huge discounts for everyone that joins Arm Gods and listens to Arm Historian. There you go. Well, this is like a call out to any organizer that's listening or any event. If you ever want to hit me up with affiliate links or anything like that, I'm free to direct some traffic over to you. Very happy to do that. But yeah, it would be cool if I could give my viewers like an actual code to get them a discount. Or like a free ticket or two would be nice. I don't know why organizations don't seem to be doing that at all with arm wrestling content creators. Like, I barely ever see any codes for discounts on the events. I never see any giveaways for tickets. Really strange that organizations aren't approaching content creators to do those kinds of things. Bob Anderson says, I'm surprised how many people picked Frank when we have Serhi nearly press Svetkov. Yeah, that's true. Personally, I had Serhi. I was just hoping Frank could have done better. Boss Royale says, if weight classes didn't matter, we wouldn't have Levan. Yeah. I think weight classes definitely matter. For sure. Just to which degree they matter, I guess that's debatable, right? If weight classes don't matter, then why isn't Hutchings signing up for weight classes above him and winning multiple titles? I think he did, right? Throughout his career, he was often kind of banned, de facto banned from his weight class. They even talked about it during his interview, I think. They kind of forced him to pull higher in WAL too. Vegito Saiyan, I like that name, says weight matters. 65 kilograms versus 165 kilograms would be a joke to set then. Yeah, I agree. But then again, like, if you just look at it from kind of like a completely objective standpoint, I think it's possible for a 65 kilogram arm wrestler to beat a 165 kilogram like person who hasn't arm wrestled ever. I think it's possible. Might not be likely, but I think it's still possible. Gertil says, y'all remember to hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thanks, Gertil, for reminding the people. I appreciate you. Woody says, MB, hope you're keeping well, mate. I hope Muscle Bike is doing well too, Woody. Welcome, by the way, Woody. Welcome again. Hope you're doing well, man. Don't worry about the snoring, by the way, if you haven't heard me say it. I snore too. Latruso says, and I think Gert Dylan can attest to that. That might sound a little weird, but we have shared a room before too. Latruso says, sadly, Frank might quit after this. He seemed very disappointed. Yes, I did see the Frank Lamparelli post-match interview, and he did seem quite disappointed, quite downtrodden even. Very unfortunate. Yeah, usually he has a big smile on his face, but didn't seem so happy now. I think he was talking about the set grip, something like that. Hard to say. They've also decreased the time it takes to go to the ref's grip or the set grip, right? I think it's 15 seconds now, which, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Should just get rid of it, I think, but yeah, whatever. Boss Royale says, yeah, weight matters 100%. Seen the video of that big prisoner beating Bob Fischer in a match? Yes, I even used a very small clip of that in one of my more recent videos, Boss Royale. So yes, very true. Still made it close. Homer Ulusan says, worst refereeing in this event. A lot of people are saying that, right? I can kind of see it in some cases. Like we might as well move on to that match. No, I'll move on to the Devon versus Gennady match after I go over a couple more matches. I don't have a lot to say about this match, unfortunately. I think I missed most of it since I was training too. So yeah. ECEC says his accent is good, which may hide how much trouble he had understanding English. I'm like that with Spanish. Ah, okay. Yeah, that might be the case. Hadn't considered that. And then we have this match with Kilianiani versus Oleg Petrenko. I believe Oleg Petrenko took the win here. I didn't catch the whole match, but I do believe Oleg Petrenko took the win here. Yeah, he just looked very strong from what I remember. I think a lot of people have this warped idea of Oleg after he got quote-unquote humiliated like that by Devon. The last match. But I think Oleg is like seriously one of the contenders in the weight class still, right? In the 209-pound class. Opana says, first time I regret buying a pay-per-view. Yeah, you would say that as a Gennady fan, right? No, seriously. Why do you regret it, Opana? I'm genuinely interested. Todd Rocking says a lot of pullers need to drop down one category. I think there's some truth to that. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I do think a lot of guys are pulling above their natural weight class, so to speak, right? So yeah, I do think there's some truth to that. Boss Royale says, does anyone know what part of Italy Hermes is from? He has a very deep voice. I don't know, but he does. White Wolf. Dude. That's too much, man. That's too much. Don't do that to me, man. That is way too much. White Wolf, thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships. Yeah. Everyone who got a membership from White Wolf, please give White Wolf all the love you can. Really awesome guy. I met him in real life and he's just as generous in real life as he is online. Yeah, just a awesome, great guy who keeps supporting arm wrestling. Thank you so much, White Wolf. Yeah, I can't express enough gratitude for this. It means a lot to me. 20 is a crazy amount. I think that's a new record. Yeah, that is unbelievable. Thank you so much, man. Here Dylan says, you magnificent bastard indeed. Give your thanks to White Wolf, guys. Let me see if I can find some more fitting music, right? Something more celebratory. Let's see. I think this is quite good. Yeah, I think this is quite fitting. I'll turn it up a little. I think it's gonna go off right now. No, not yet. It's getting there, I promise. Here it says, Aru! Yes, indeed, Aru! Awesome, White Wolf. really appreciate it, man. Everyone who got a gifted membership, be sure to thank White Wolf. Yeah. Can't wait to see you again, man, in real life. Can't wait to meet all the Ireland crew again. And get on the table with you guys, get some more drinks with you guys. Always an awesome time, and I appreciate you so much. Seriously. Like, I don't do this for the gifted memberships and the money and stuff, because the amount of time I put in is just, it doesn't work out. Like, the math doesn't work out. But this is like so motivating to me. It allows me to kind of tell myself it's okay to keep doing this. It's okay to keep investing this amount of time, because people really appreciate me to the point where they're actually trying to kind of give back to me with their hard-earned money. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Seriously. See, Spermies coming in with the 14 Canadian dollars super chat. Spermies, another one of those great people I met in Ireland. Yeah, I can't thank you enough, man. Seriously, awesome. Says White Wolf, buying friends again. Well, I would be White Wolf's friend. At least, I'd like to think I'm White Wolf's friend. In my opinion, I am. Even if you didn't donate anything to me ever, I think I would still get along very well with White Wolf. Thank you so much, guys. Seriously, greatly appreciate it. Awesome of you. Gonna turn the music down a little bit. Still can't quite grasp 20 gifted subs and then a big donation afterwards. That's like unheard of. Thank you so much. Okay, back to the matches if we can here. Once again, be sure to thank White Wolf if you've got a membership. Welcome, by the way, to the Armies and Fingerfolk. There's some exclusive content on the channel. I'm gonna try and put out more. I always say this, but genuinely I'm gonna try. But there are some exclusive videos now. You also have access to like an entire backlog of live streams that I've put on members only some time ago. Like some of the very first live streams of the Arm Historian ever, which is like 2 years ago now. So yeah, welcome, guys. Anyone who's a member now, welcome. Crazy. Muscle Bike says, Muscle Bike coming here with another super chat even. 10 pounds here, says yet some more of Jake's money. Super chat money. poor Aussie arm wrestler. I can't be too sad. I saw what kind of money he's pulling in with his live streams during the events. Crazy, man. But so I can't be too sad for him. I appreciate it. Muscle Bike, another one of those great supporters. The Arm Gods crew kind of giving me some love here. Thank you, guys. Really thank you. Some great people I've met in the sport. Hoping to meet real soon. Once again, let's try and focus here. Focus up and get this done. Take a look at the last match here, and then we can talk about kind of the ending of the event before I end the stream. Gennady versus Devon. What do you guys think of this? I think once again, well, it couldn't be anything different than kind of a controversial match in a way, right? So yet once again was quite a bit of controversial calls. I think a lot of people kind of fault the refs for not doing a great job and being biased. I think a lot of people think, in particular, the refs were biased towards Gennady, which I kind of agree. At certain points, the shoulder thing was crazy, right? Gennady was like carved in almost completely with his shoulder, and they were still calling for Devon to square up, so it did look kind of weird sometimes. Boss Royale says, do memberships cost money? Yes, they do. I try to keep the cost of the memberships low. I think you can become a member for a couple of bucks. But yeah, they do cost money, and White Wolf just spend a bunch of money to buy people memberships here. So definitely big shout out to White Wolf. Got a membership from him. And the trade just keeps going with Chuck now. Coming in with a 50.5 Polish. Remind me again what the currency is called. I can't quite remember, but thank you so much, Chuck. Don't do that, man. You're already helping me behind the scenes. I appreciate it a lot. Really, thank you so much. Way too generous of you guys. Thank you also for the subscriber some time ago. Yeah, I saw someone subscribed. I lost your name there. Thank you so much. You can subscribe to me. You can watch my stuff, even if you're just lurking in the live streams. Never say anything. I just appreciate you for being like a part of our little corner of the arm wrestling world. I think we've built a great community here. Verbeer says, can you please let me win one round next week? If you super chat, Verbeer, I'll let you win one round during training. That sound good? Atlantis IRL coming in with the 5 USD super chat. Thank you so much, Atlantis, one of our longtime viewers. Been with us since the very start, if I remember. Yeah, Atlantis, thank you so much, man. No need for that, but I appreciate you a lot. Seriously. That means a lot to me. Verbeer donated €1 to super chat. Verbeer, you do know part of that is going to YouTube, right? You might as well give me €1 next time we meet, and I would have let you win too. Thank you, Verbeer. For the €1. I'll let you win next training. You crazy. Okay, so yeah, this match, Devon did end up winning very convincingly at the end of the day. He did lose one round to Gennady on fouls, I believe. So yeah, that does mean that Henry, who bet that he wouldn't take a single loss, will have to shave his hair, all his hair off. Thanks so much, people. I see Jason Merlot got a free membership from White Wolf. Jason Merlot, welcome to the Army Story members, to the Armies and Fingerfolk. I like what you do on the table, Jason. Latrousseau says, I like the match overall. Gennady is one of the few that can hang with Devon. Yeah, the reffing was a mess. Yeah, Gennady is one of the few that can really hang with Devon, right? I think Devon alluded to it in his post-match interview, where he said he'll always have a tough time with Gennady. Gennady's one of those people where he'll always like have a tough time with on the table. So I think that speaks volumes too to they actually do respect each other, I think. Cazadori says, God damn, guess I'm gonna be bottom bitch next trading. Yeah. €1 for the win, says Atlantis. I appreciate all the support in any form people give me. The fact that people even watch my content or join these live streams is like something I'm very grateful for. So anything extra is like blowing my mind here. Definitely blowing my mind. Kind of support I get from you guys. Just crazy. But I do appreciate it. There is a video that's coming out very soon. I hope you guys are gonna like it. Some of you might not agree with what I have to say, but I hope you guys are gonna like it. Jason Merlot says, what's up, Arm? I appreciate the kind words, but I appreciate the support for those who watch. It's humbling hearing people enjoy my matches. Yeah, for sure. And I think you're quite knowledgeable too when I hear you speak. When I've heard you speak in interviews and stuff like that. So, yeah. I'd love to have you on sometime, Jason, on the live stream or maybe in a video that's about a topic you can relate to. Atlantis says, yeah, that was insane. Bob Troking says, Gennady is on a losing streak, by the way. Maybe Kirill next for Gennady. Yeah, we might as well talk about the ending, right? This match got very heated. I think at 2 separate points, Gennady pushed Devon physically. Like physically pushed him, hit him on the chest. To be fair, I do think that was kind of retaliatory to Devon's pulling on the strap while they were still strapped up, you know what I mean? And that's something that happens very easily during an arm wrestling match, I think, especially during super matches. It's very easy to kind of forget that you're still actually physically attached to your opponent and you just go into celebratory mode or whatever. And yeah, you yank your opponent and your opponent gets angry about that. I think that's quite natural during arm wrestling matches, but yeah. That's what happened, as far as I could tell. Muscleback says Gennady versus Sarah Bachman next match. It's funny because the two women who pulled today, Via Rysek and Malin Bergstrom, both wanted to pull Sarah Bachman when asked who their next opponent, who they wanted their next opponent to be. So yeah, there you go. Jason Merlot says, I would gladly jump on, let me know anytime, and we will make a day and time work. Thanks so much. Awesome, Jason. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up on that. I do organize, it's kind of become a yearly thing here, where I organize kind of a fantasy league, and that is coming up in about a month or so, and I'm looking for people to kind of co-host those episodes with me. Yeah, we kind of do an all-time prime fantasy league kind of thing. Peak human performance. Yeah, looking at Devon, I do have to say the rope he got from Gennady, that rope looks badass, man, and really comfy. I want a rope like that. I want traditional Georgian garbs, if that was what that was. I want that too. But I guess I'd have to beat a Georgian in arm wrestling, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Maybe like someone very weak. Someone very small and very weak. Devon just became Palpatine after winning over Gennady. Yeah, a little bit, right? There's a couple of cool pictures where he's walking around Tbilisi, kind of looking like Palpatine. Very strange. Palpatine with a gut, I guess. He doesn't really have a gut, but he does have kind of a moon face now. From certain angles. Sometimes it blows my mind because we take this for granted, right? Devon just lost a bunch of weight to like pull in lower weight classes. And now, only a couple months later, he's like all of a sudden this big 300 plus pound monster. Looking crazy. Like in modern sports, I feel like we take all these weight cuts and weight gains and all these things like for granted, as if it's like something that's easy and usual for athletes to do. But when you actually stop and think about it, it's not normal, you know? That kind of weight swings, that's not normal, man. Alat Rousseau says, was funny how big the green hoodie looked on Gennady. Yeah, it did look a little oversized on our Georgian friend there. Devon also basically said it's radioactive by now, so yeah, maybe Gennady should wash it. Chuck says, I want him to yell unlimited power during the next match. Like a Dragon Ball Z kind of thing or something. It's funny because I saw the translator, like the Georgian and Russian translator, wearing several different anime t-shirts throughout the days of the event. I was wearing a Piccolo shirt at a certain point, and also a One Piece shirt, I think. Here tells us 5 most impressive weight gains in arm wrestling history. Weight gains in arm wrestling history. Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. The Rise and Fall of Devon's Weight. We need it, please. That's actually a good title too. So yeah, let's talk about how the event ended. Very strange. I at least thought it was pretty strange. Let me see if I can get a quick screenshot for you guys, so I can kind of illustrate what I'm talking about here. If I can find it. Can I not watch it again on the live stream? Weird. Maybe they cut it, or... What do you guys think of, like, for those of you that actually watch the live stream, what do you think of the chat function and all that kind of stuff? Kind of looked fake to me at points. Or, like, extremely moderated. Like, extremely moderated. I don't know if you would call it the same as fake, but I don't know if there were actual bot messages in chat. But it did look that way. But it might just be, like I said, a consequence of being that moderated of a chat. Atlantis says, I got the stream basically for the Devon match. He didn't disappoint. Yeah, he rarely does, right? I think any match with Devon in it is generally... You can generally expect it to be a good match. Or at least, it can be frustrating at times, but at least you'll be entertained. So yeah, I do think I have a screenshot here lined up. At least I'm trying to. For some reason it's taking a long time. I hope the stream doesn't crash in the meanwhile. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hope I didn't cut out there. Musclebike says, Army historians just never lose the background snow, even in July. I'll kind of have to do that right now. I was planning on doing this whole solar ray thing, solar flare thing. Atlantis says it was strange. It looked like no one was using it at all. Chuck says, chat was weird. I wrote that live stream is not working for me and never saw anyone answer me, and there was like one message every 5 minutes. That is weird. Did someone enable slow chat or something? One of my moderators? You don't have to do that if one of you did. You don't have to enable slow chat. Okay, you're talking about the events chat, of course. Yeah, no one responded to anything in chat. Latruso says there's no way they can let the chat loose. It would be full of all the worst things imaginable. Yeah, I agree there, of course, but like I've heard people saying their message got deleted, even if it wasn't like a bad message. Even if they're just saying something that might be a little biased or something, like towards a certain athlete, even those kinds of messages got deleted. And I think some people were saying you could only see your own messages and then some pre-approved messages. Which is crazy, right? What's the point of even having a chat at that point if that's the truth? Hard to say. Spermy says, well, it's definitely winter here. I like Arm Historian snow. Yeah, and it actually snowed here too. Which is a rarity where I'm at. But it actually did snow here. So yeah, very, very fitting. Hariam Notopro says, Turkish ref, I will cover the main angle with my head. Camera crew, what about the front angle? Enemy of the sport. You don't have to show that. Just replay the other shit angle. Yeah, I saw quite a bit of people talking about camera angles even during this live stream. I saw people touch on it. Yeah, like I said, I think the camera angles in general were good, but I do hear what people are saying with like having iffy ref calls that could be solved by having dedicated cameras directed at certain points. I do definitely follow there, and I do agree there with people. Yeah, that could definitely help. But I think in general, most of the camera angles, like from just a pure aesthetic perspective, I don't think we're that bad, right? Let's see if I can finally pull up that image I was talking about. I think it's this one. Yeah, so what went on here at the end of the event? Levon and Kirill. Very weird atmosphere to me. I like when I was watching it live, I couldn't really make heads or tails of it. Like what is the actual purpose here? I think Engin even announced during the event, like, oh, we'll have an exhibition match after everything is done between Levon and Kirill. Then it actually happened, and Levon seemed to be caught a bit off guard. Like they went into it, an overlay appeared on the screen that actually changed once Kirill got a pin. So I guess technically Levon is pinned, I guess. Levon is pinned once now by Kirill, would have thought. And Levon kind of, I don't know, maybe he didn't expect Kirill to go that hard. Maybe Kirill was really trying really hard. And Levon just totally didn't expect it. I heard he was training that same day. Yeah, and he just kind of let it go, right? And then started looking at his phone, getting a little angry, pointing at people, saying stuff in Georgian I couldn't understand. Just a very, very confusing ending to the event. Later, Kirill commented on his social media about what happened, apologizing, and then Robert Baxter, Engin Terzi, as well as Kirill, got on a video of Engin. A very interesting video. I won't say too much more about it, but you should go watch the video on East First Twist YouTube channel. Just give it a watch. It looked a little weird to me. You can draw your own conclusions if you want. Yeah, really weird, White Wolf, that they would have a chat and then have it like that non-responsive or like a little fake. Yeah, that makes sense too. Most people probably don't even use or watch the chat. Okay, Russell Black, yeah, I was just getting my chats mixed up there for a second. All good. David Lishin said, yeah, it's very obvious that the refs were horrible in the Devon match. Terrible display of bad calls by terrible refs. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that, for sure. White Wolf says, I don't know how to do anything as a mod. I feel that Arm Historian have been a mod duty as an honor. Like he thinks I can't ban anyone or be effective. Well, it's pretty much spot on. Yeah, it's basically only a title in name, right? Like when you donate like a new wing to a hospital and they name it after you, even though you have nothing to do with medicine or surgeries or something. It's kind of what's going on here, I guess. Jason Merlot says some people are super critical of refs calls, and sometimes rightfully so. But we also have to be mindful that refs will never win. Yeah, it's not an enviable position to be an arm wrestling ref. Like, I talked about this with one of the people I was watching the event with. Which other sport can you yell at the ref like that? In that kind of way? Which other sport allows that? Think about it. Not a lot of them out there. Maybe we should kind of try and change that a little. Bob Anderson says Levon was disappointed with the Georgians and didn't want to be there anymore. Yeah, could be. Maybe not so much disappointed, but a little sad that his countrymen lost. Most of them, I guess. Bacho got a win, right? Convincing win. Latrousseau says, I can't imagine having to ref any Devon match. Yeah, I agree. It can be easy. Especially when his opponent is someone like Gennady. Jason Merlot says, but it's awesome that we see the criticism coming in, because that means the interest of the sport actually is growing. The push tight reffing. Very exciting to see. I agree. More voices, more better, right? In general. Doesn't mean every voice has an equally valid opinion. I would say. Some opinions definitely hold a little more water than others. But yeah, I do think in general it's good to have a large amount of opinions and diverse opinions on things like that. That is very encouraging to see, indeed. But yeah, very weird. I don't know. Like they said in their apology video, which is crazy that we're seeing actual apology videos in arm wrestling now. It's been like a trope in YouTube for quite a while, but I didn't expect that we would see it in arm wrestling. But I guess it makes sense, right? Our sport is growing and things like that will happen, so yeah, this makes sense to see, but it is quite weird. Chuck says the problem with refs is that we see the same refs over and over again. There's no chance for you to find someone better for that job. That is true to a large degree. It's funny because I think the ref that got the most flack might be a ref that refed one of my matches before. I think it's a ref we had at an event where I live. He did quite well reffing the event, I think. But yeah, maybe I should contact the event and say, those losses he gave me, they're now illegitimate. Because of his performance at East vs. West, I think I should get a medal anyways for that event. Think that would work? Think so, right? David Lishin says unfair reffing, Devon versus Gennady and 2 refs, unfair disgrace, poop emoji. Yeah, like I said, I see that opinion echoed a lot by a lot of people, so I think in general there is some truth to it. It did look quite egregious at times. Why is my chat getting so hung up on this? It's like lagging out a little bit. David Lishin says LeFraud is super heavyweight champion of steroids intake. Okay. Here, Dylan, what do you say? My chat is like really lagging. It's so annoying. I'm gonna restart my chat window really quickly here. Let's see if it actually gets resolved. Might be getting a little low on memory. Let me close some things here. Yeah, apologies for this, guys. I'll be right back on track. Let's take a look. Dylan says, you know, for this year's Fancy League, I vote for the Fancy Brackets to be a one-day event, meaning we'll keep in mind how tired someone should have been from their previous matches. Yeah, we did kind of do that, but I think it wouldn't hurt to put more of an emphasis on there. I think you're right. We should do that. If anyone has any suggestions for this year's Fancy League, let me know. And I'll try to incorporate it if I can. Jason says, I couldn't watch the event, so I'm not sure specifics everyone is referring to. I'm just saying in general. Okay, that makes sense. No worries, Gert. Thank you for putting us back on track. Like Gasparini says. The rest were absolute garbage. Gotta show some respect. Yeah, you do have to some refs. Yeah, indeed. Jason Merlot says a great point. Arm, we need to develop better respect overall for the refs. Yep. I think that's one thing that's like, when you compare our sport to other sports, it's one thing that a lot of new people will look at and say, like, what the fuck is going on here? Why are your athletes yelling at refs and why aren't refs following them out for doing so? Really strange. Football refs get a right hammering, yes, but they're not afraid to dole out red cards if the athletes are getting too egregious, right? I've seen that happen. Latrousseau says, I heard Todzilla donated some of his winnings to Irakli to buy a few proper pairs of pants. I'm gonna assume that's facetious, but it is funny. Muscleback says, apology videos already. Great start for Baxter. Shocking to hear Engin apologize for anything. Kim Jong-un doesn't do apologies. Well, listen, you're comparing Engin with Kim Jong-un, not me. Let me make that clear. To be fair, Engin did say in the video, I didn't really do anything wrong here. I think he says that, not verbatim, but very close to it a couple of times. So, participation trophy, arm historian. White Wolf says, we don't need to develop better respect for the refs, we need to pay for refs to take courses to be better refs. Yeah, I think both. I don't think they should be mutually exclusive, but it's another great point you bring up, White Wolf. better training for refs and more uniform training would be good. Just so we see more consistent reffing. Le Bangala says we need the French ref from East vs West Challenge Series. Yeah, he was good, indeed. See you all after the reboot. The reboot chat. He's unplugging the Matrix. It does feel that way sometimes. Let me quickly see if I can... Like, is Neil going live? I doubt it, right? He's probably still in Georgia. I don't think he's going live with the fix, so... it doesn't really matter if we're going overtime. Oh yeah, it's scheduled for like 3 hours or something, so I think we're good. But yeah, I think that about covers the event. If someone has anything else they would like to bring up, now is the time for it. My voice is getting quite hoarse here, so... yeah, all in all, good event. Like, I think I can safely say I enjoyed the event. I think it's still worth the money, although like 25 euros in total is creeping up there right now, right? But you could argue it's still worth the money, I think. Good event in general. I think production value was good. Most matches were entertaining, if not a bit one-sided. I think a lot of them were quite one-sided, but you know, that's arm wrestling, right? You can't really fault an organizer completely for most of the matches being one-sided. You could argue, of course, that there should have been better matchmaking, but then it's like super difficult to predict stuff like that. So I kind of give them a little leeway on that front. But I think in general, a success. The ending, extremely weird. Some ref calls, questionable for sure. I agree. All in all, I think it was an improvement, I want to say, over most of their previous events. I enjoyed it, personally. I think the pace of the event was quicker. They went through all the matches quicker. There was less downtime. The event was over sooner, which I greatly appreciated. So all in all, pretty good. David Lishin says Lefraud gained double his weight from 200 to 400 plus. Imagine if Devon doubled his weight to 50 to 500. Yeah, most do them. But to double your weight, need oxygen and Hermes match and forfeit last round. That's certainly a lot of thoughts condensed into one very confusing sentence there, David. Arm historians after hour, indeed. We're after hours now. We've turned down the lights a little. I'll try to make my voice a little more sultry. Chuck says, controversial opinion, I believe Morozov could win a match if he would use position. Got to gas out Vitali in hook press, like Devon often does. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, definitely the match was closer than a lot of people gave Morozov credit for, right? So, I agree. Could be a close match if things went a little different, for sure. Could be closer. Musclebike says Fia is gorgeous, just for the record. Yep, I agree. She looks good, I think. Healthy people, fit people, healthy people in general look better, so yeah. Fia looks good. Latrusso says, I kind of enjoyed how fast the event went by. Yes, me too, Latrusso. It's kind of good to be able to call it quits after only, 4 or 5 hours? I think, yeah, something like that, right? 4.5 maybe? White Wolf says, you have a problem with someone, go see them face to face and talk to them. Don't do a YouTube video. So fucking lame. Yeah, I hear you, man. I don't know, it's like drama feeds drama, right? It's like the eternal YouTube cycle. Just has to keep on going. Dan John says, Arm historian, do you see Devon beating Levan at his current weight? No. I don't. Yeah, honestly, I don't. Musclebike says Levan can come pull at arm gods. None of that messing around with us, guys. Yeah, although I think you'll find Levan's fee to be quite steep. Hariom Notopro says 6-match format is a horrible idea. Yeah, I'm kinda all in on the best 3 out of 5 is like the maximum for me. First to 3 kinda makes sense. First to 2 is fine too. Muscleback says, come and join the Arm Gods army, guys. Arm Gods have been very supportive of the Arm Historian, so give some love back if you can. Neil's Distended Belly was the first to hit on Fia. Yeah, I did see that interaction. Would these first fists consider going straight to straps to help with less downtime, asks Rodney Hickman. I don't know. It often does seem like that would make a lot of sense, right? I think maybe not forgo, like maybe not make athletes go to the strap every time straight away, give them a chance to pull outside of straps, but maybe just go straight for a revs grip. Why not? A quick revs grip and you're off you're off. The ready go is done. Quick revs grip, ready go. There you go. White Wolf says, Lovan and anyone else welcome to Arm Gods. We don't ban anyone ever. Yeah, I generally don't take a ban approach either. But I did see Arm Gods getting into some issues, right, with another leak lately. I'm not fully up on all the gossip. David Lishin says, thanks for your impressive body of work in short time. Kudos to you. Good job, Hail the Historian. Well, thank you, David Lishin. Or Leichin, or sorry if I butchered that. I appreciate that a lot. It's very motivating that you enjoy my stuff. New video coming out soon. Chuck, don't fall asleep, says White Wolf. Yeah. Feel honored to get my comment read with such a soothing voice. Yeah. I'll whisper right in your ear, Chuck. I'm not afraid. Chuck says, will you pay me for a match? I broke my arm once, so I'm almost like Dave Chafee at White Wolf. Yeah, maybe you can come pull in Arm Gods. Guys, I think that's about gonna do it. My voice is kind of spent, as you might hear. I'm gonna edit to get this video out for you guys. Super motivating live stream. I enjoyed myself a lot. I hope you guys did too. Keep your eyes peeled for the video. Share it with your friends, even if you don't agree with my opinion in it. Would be very much appreciated. Other than that, thank you so much for everyone that watched tonight, everyone that interacted, everyone that's just lurking in the background. And thank you to all the very generous donators tonight. White Wolf, those were some crazy gifted subs. Chuck, thank you so much. Muscle Bike, of course, greatly appreciated. There were a ton of people that supported me this live stream, so really thank you. Boss Royale, I appreciate it a lot. Spermies, can't forget about you, of course, for Bear coming in with the hot €1, and Atlantis IRL, who has been with us since the start. So yeah, very much appreciate each and every one of you. It's been a crazy ride today. Let me just say that. I'm gonna have to decompress pretty badly here. So guys, same time, same place, next week. Hope to see you all there. And yeah, have a very, very good night and a very awesome start of a new week. As always, I think you guys know the drill by now. Arm Historian, out of here. Bye-bye.